Everyone, it's Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. Welcome to my channel. So on today's video, what I want to do is transform my fall container for the holiday season. So I'm going to do some prepping first. So here's my thought of what my plan is. So my plan is on top here, I'll do a little bit of cleaning up. I do want to keep the beetroot, but I'm going to embellish it with some magnolia leaves that I cut. And then my thought is I'm going to remove the grass, and in a few days I'm going to go get some tree trimmings, and that's what I'm going to use in the back. But I'm going to embellish the front of the container, so I'm going to use some ribbon, pine cones, and some picks as well. And then I may or may not do a wreath for here. I'm pretty sure, not sure what I'm doing here, if I'm doing a wreath or not. But today part of it is I do want to prep everything. Now what I'm debating is whether to keep these kale and cabbages here and just switch the grass out for wintergreen. So I'm thinking that I'm going to leave it because it'll look good all winter. So let's tackle the top part of here first. I'm just cleaning up the containers, and I'm just making space for the magnolias that I'm going to use. So I actually foraged these magnolia branches. Look at the back of it, isn't it beautiful? And so my thought is I'm going to space this container out and then line the rim of it with the magnolia. I think that would look good. So let me space them out a little bit. That way they would look really good once I have the magnolias in them. So let me start. So all I'm doing is just sticking the stems into the container of itself. And I'm just going to create a rim around it. Isn't that beautiful, the green? Now this one here is a little bit taller, so I'm going to keep it as is. But I think I would look better up on this one here. This one's beautiful, isn't it? Trying to decide whether I want to switch these two containers so that way the magnolia is on that side. I think that's what I'll do. Okay, that looks better. And that way you can kind of see the purple here with the green. I hope that all makes sense, you guys. You guys, it's starting to rain. Every time I have a little bit of time, it's raining. Ooh. So the rain has stopped, so I'm going to continue with my project here. Now surrounds this pot there. gorgeous. So what I did was switch the pots, and then I did magnolias on this side, magnolias a little bit here. I kept the purple, and then I did magnolia on the other side, if you can see it. So on here, so that's all I'm going to do is just magnolias on the top part of the pot. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap my container with my ribbon here. I'm going to keep the grasses up until I'm able to get the other greenery that I need. So let me get my ribbon and I'll show you guys how I'm gonna work on that part of it. I have this ribbon here that I'm going to tie around this. Now this is going to be interesting because my hands are pretty short, so let's see how I get to do this. Alright, so ribbon number, yay, it's looking really cool. Thing I have is my pine cones, which I just strung them up like this, and I'm gonna wrap it around my container here, and then I'll drape it properly afterwards. I'm using some paddle wire. You guys, this weather is not cooperating at all with me. Now I'm just positioning it. Now you can see the little gap that I have here. So I have ribbon number 2 that's going to go over there with a bow. And then I also have some picks that I'm going to use. You guys, it's starting to rain again. Just cutting my edge, my ribbons at an angle. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back and finish this up. It started raining again. Alright, we'll come back in a sec. It's the next day, everybody, and the sun's back out. Yay! So, let me finish this project out. So first thing I need to do is I did tie a ribbon here. So I'm going to wait and see if I need to do a second layer once I put the picks. Now I have a couple of options. I have these picks from indoors that I'm going to either use here. I'm not really sure. We'll see. We'll see how it all pans out. I'm thinking of maybe a little bit of glitz and glam. Probably would look good. Let me go a little closer. So maybe I do a little bit of this. Ooh, that looks pretty. And then, what if I do maybe some greenery? Maybe some juniper would look good there? Probably. I think so. Or maybe maybe a magnolia. Now keep in mind that the top part of my container, the grass is going to come out, and I'm going to put greenery instead here. This hydrangea will come out as well, but I'm going to keep the kale and the cabbage. So when I'm designing it, I'm keeping that in mind as well. to kind of tie everything together. So let's go back to the bottom here. So I have some magnolia, but I also have some sprigs of juniper. So I'm trying to see which one I want to use. And all I'm doing is I'm just literally tucking it in. Oh, the juniper might be a better option. I'm just basically tucking it in. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm using the tension of the ribbon to hold it in place. Now what I don't know is whether I'm overdoing it or not. I don't know where to stop. I'm going to do one more piece here, and then I think I'm going to call it quits. That will be balanced for now. Ooh, that looks pretty. You need something right there. I think that might be it, you guys. Let me turn the camera around and give you a look at it, and then we'll move on to container number 2. Technically, I could leave this as is. Right? Maybe leave it as is. I don't even need a greenery, but I know I'm going to add greenery to that. So this container is halfway done. We have to come back on the lights a little bit. Get better exposure. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful. Now imagine the green right over there where the grass is. I'm going to start the second container. Alright, so then next I'm going to go in with my picks. You know what, I'm going to do my greenery first before I do my picks. I think that might be enough for greenery, maybe something right there. Good. Now I'm going to go in with my picks. Hopefully you guys can see all this that I'm doing. So it's the day after Thanksgiving, and all the Christmas trees are typically, that's when people are buying it. So I went to big box store, took myself a bag, and asked if I could get some of the tree trimmings, and of course they said yes. So I've got them, so now I'm going to go ahead and finish up my container here. So I got my Christmas tree trimmings, and while I was there, I basically trimmed the dead wood and stuff out of it. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this in. So I'm going to go with my tallest layer first. I'm going to design it facing this way, like out. And then this might be hitting the car. And then I will go in and do the back of it. If I need to separate the branches out, I do have my pruner, so I'm going to go ahead and prune them. Now what I'm seeing here is like it's coming a little bit this way, so I want to stick some up like in the middle that are not curved. So I'm just going to cut it into a smaller stem now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my juniper. So, got some juniper stems. And now what I'm doing is I am mixing the greens now. So I'm mixing in the juniper with the Frasier fir. And last but not least is I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with some, some magnolia leaves. So I've got these magnolia branches that I foraged. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it in. And then a little bit maybe in this corner over there. A little bit of a cryptomeria hanging off there. Got a couple stems of cryptomeria. So I'm going to use it to drape the edges. Give it a little bit of finishing touch. I have these red twig dogwood stems that I'm going to use to give a little bit of height. Alright, let's do container number 2. Same exact thing. I'm going to go ahead and do the larger one first. Finish up with my cryptomeria. Definitely have to come back when the sun's better. Really can't see it much here. Red twig dogwood. I think that might be it, so I'll come back a little bit later and give you a better look once the lighting is better. Alright, so light's better now, so I wanted to show you the overboard with it. Maybe a little bit too much? I don't know. And then the top with the magnolias, I put a little couple of picks because just look a little bit too plain. And here's the second side of it. Alright, I'm calling it quits for today. As you can see, I have my heavy jacket on. Super cold. It's like low 40s, maybe 39. For me, that's really cold. If you like, enjoy, share with a gardening friend too as well. Until next time, everybody, happy gardening.